What's up, everyone? The NBA preseason is only a week away, but since the New York Knicks project to be one of the worst teams in the league again, I think it isn't too early to look at the top prospects in next year's draft. So in this video, we're going to analyze some of the top prospects in the 2021 draft. In particular, the ones that would make sense with the Knicks' current young core. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video, as it really encourages the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to more people, and please subscribe as it really helps my channel grow. Now let's get started. Anyone who has paid attention to this upcoming draft class knows Kade Cunningham is the cream of the crop, so it's only fair we start off with him. He's a 6'7" point guard out of Oklahoma State that does so many things on the court extremely well. For starters, he's an excellent passer. Cunningham has good court vision, and he's extremely unselfish, which makes him a great floor general on the court. He's always setting his teammates up for easy baskets. Offensively, Kade is also a great scorer, where thanks to his quickness and ball handling skills, he can get to the basket very easily and finish pretty well. And he's also a pretty good outside shooter, which keeps the defense honest if they try to play off of him. What's also great about Cunningham is that he's a legit two-way player. He's a big point guard with a long 7-foot wingspan, and he uses those physical tools to pester his opponents on the defensive end. His all-around game makes him a great prospect, and he's one of the top players to come out of the draft in a while. If the Knicks could add Cunningham to their current young core, they're really set going forward, but that isn't something that I would bank on. Even if the Knicks go in full tank mode, the league changed the lottery odds, so there's only a 14% chance at best that the Knicks would get the #1 pick to draft him. That's only 1 out of 7 odds. The Knicks usually have awful lottery luck, so Knicks fans, don't get attached to the idea of drafting Cunningham. Since we know the Knicks likely won't get him, let's look at some other prospects. The second best point guard in this draft is Jalen Suggs out of Gonzaga. Suggs is another big point guard at 6'4", with elite playmaking skills. He sees the floor extremely well and finds the open man with pinpoint accuracy. An elite playmaking guard like Suggs would be excellent for the Knicks because he can run a lot of pick and roll with guys like Obi Toppin and set them up for lobs and easy baskets. Along with being a great passer, Suggs is also a scoring machine. Thanks to his quickness and ball handling skills, he's an excellent driver, and he has nice finishing moves around the rim. Suggs can also shoot the ball pretty well too, so he's a deadly inside and outside scorer. Like Cunningham, Suggs is a legit two-way player. He competes hard on the defensive end, both on and off the ball. Cunningham will likely be the #1 pick, but Suggs is far from a consolation prize. Suggs, in my opinion, is right behind Cunningham in his draft, and if the Knicks take him, they've landed their franchise point guard. Let's move on to some other prospects. The Knicks' most pressing need right now is point guard, but they could also use a small forward, as they don't have much talent at that position. One of the top wing players in this draft is Jonathan Kaminga, an athletic 6'8" player who chose to bypass college ball for the G League. Kaminga has potential to be a great two-way player at the NBA level. Thanks to his size and quickness, Kaminga is a very good slasher. His handle isn't great, but it's good enough where he's comfortable using it to beat defenders. When he's at the rim, he usually finishes strong thanks to his length and good touch around the basket. As a shooter, Kaminga is decent but not great. He's got a nice arc and high release on his shot, which helps him to get it off with regularity. He's very capable, shooting both off the catch and off the dribble. As he continues to put reps in, I'm sure Kaminga can become a deadly shooter. Another thing to like about Kaminga is that he's not a one-way player. He can defend multiple positions thanks to his size, and with his vertical and length, he could even occasionally be a rim protector. His defense isn't elite yet, but he certainly has potential to get there. Point guard is the Knicks' biggest need, but if they draft Kaminga, they could be walking away with a potential two-way star. The next guy I want to talk about is Jalen Johnson out of Duke, another wing player with a high upside. Johnson brings good size to the small forward position at 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan. He's very athletic, which is often displayed when slashing to the basket. He runs the floor hard, and it isn't uncommon to see him finish with a ferocious dunk on the fast break. Perhaps the best attribute about Johnson is that he's a legit point forward. He sees the court very well and tends to rack up assists thanks to his playmaking skills. Whether it's finding open cutters or driving and kicking, he sets up his teammates for easy baskets extremely well. Moving to his weaknesses, Johnson really needs to improve as an outside shooter. At the high school level, he didn't shoot well from outside, so he really needs to work on that area of his game. He's a good scorer in the paint, but his potential won't be fully unlocked unless he adds a respectable jumper. Additionally, Jalen needs to work on his defense. He's got great defensive tools with his length and athleticism, but his defense comes and goes. He simply needs to have a higher motor on that end of the floor. Overall, Johnson is a very athletic point forward with a high upside. He would fill a position of need for the Knicks, but with his lack of shooting, it could take a few years before he's ready to have a huge impact. The last guy I think the Knicks should be interested in the 2021 draft is another wing player out of Stanford named Zire Williams. Zire is a legit two-way player. He's got good size at 6'8" with a 6'11" wingspan, which allows him to defend multiple positions. He also is a good off-ball defender, as he tends to play the passing lanes well to rack up deflections and steals. Offensively, Zire brings a lot to the court as well. He's a great slasher thanks to his quickness and solid handle, and thanks to his good touch around the basket, he's a good finisher. Zire also has a solid three-point shot, both off the dribble and off the catch, and he even has the ability to create his own shot off the dribble using crossovers and step backs. Overall, he's a great prospect with significant two-way upside, who again, the Knicks could really use as they don't have a lot of talent at his position. Overall, these are the 5 main guys that I think the Knicks should be interested in, but I do have a couple of honorable mentions. First, I want to talk about Jalen Green. Green is another great prospect who's currently projected to be a top 3 pick, but you won't see him in college basketball this year as he opted to play in the G League. I think Green is a great prospect with star potential. He's a freak athlete and a human highlight reel on the court, and extremely difficult to guard one-on-one. The only reason why I'm not too high on him for the Knicks is because of RJ Barrett. Green is a 2-guard just like RJ, and they both have similar play styles as slashing volume shooters. I want to see where RJ will be as a player this upcoming season, as I do believe in his potential, and I believe that RJ could be a star. He may not make the All-Star team this year, but if RJ shows significant growth, it would make more sense for the Knicks to draft a prospect who's a better fit with the young core. Now, some may say it's always better to draft best player available, but I don't believe in that philosophy unless the guy I'm drafting is a can't-miss prospect who's miles ahead of the young prospects I already have. Green will be very good, but the Knicks should see what they have in RJ first. And my second honorable mention is Evan Mobley. Mobley has the potential to be a unicorn big man. He's 7 feet tall with a 7'5" wingspan, which makes him an excellent rim protector on defense. And on offense, he's got good shooting and ball handling skills that's rare for a big man. He definitely brings Porzingis vibes, but again, the Knicks already have a great center prospect in Mitchell Robinson, who's headed into a critical 3rd year, and I would like to see how much Mitch improves in his 3rd year before I take someone who plays at his position. Now, Mobley plays like the next superstar big man at USC. The Knicks will have to consider taking him because he does have a higher upside than Mitch, but that remains to be seen. Anyway, guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. Those are the 5 guys that I think Knicks fans should get very familiar with as we get closer to next year's draft. Kade Cunningham, Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Kaminga, Jalen Johnson, and Zire Williams. Who do you want the Knicks to take in the 2021 draft? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.